we start recording this. Okay. So let me get rid of this here. Okay. So here's the welcome, right? So if you click on this, you're going to have some information here about our class. So guys, the main thing here about this welcome part is that whenever we get ready to take, we're going to have 2 tests. We're going to have a midterm and we're going to have a final. The main thing you just need to make sure, and most everybody has it, is on your computer, is that you just got to have a webcam. And we're going to use something called Microsoft Teams. It's pretty much identical to Zoom. It's just STC provides us with Microsoft software, and Teams is free for me. So, or for all of us here. Let's see. I do have a welcome video for you guys. So if you haven't had a chance to watch it, if you click on this right here, it'll open up a page, and it takes you to YouTube, and it's just me giving you guys a little bit of welcome information. Let's see. Here's our syllabus. Both of y'all are already on Remind. There's just some information about me right here. And so it just has some basic stuff about me if you're interested. And then, so the 2 main things that we'll be using are going to be these 2 tabs right here. So the first one is the weekly's activity folder. So if I click on this, you see, and then I'll click on week 1. Just want to make, yes, you guys can see that. Okay. So we're going to be, a couple things we're going to do. We're going to set up a Mylab and Mastering account. So if you're wondering where is the Mylab and Mastering account, it is this link right here. Okay, so when you click on this link here, it'll take you to Mylab. It used to be called My Math Lab. And then what I did is I created a little video for you guys on how to create your account. And I basically walk you through the process. Just a heads up, it's not going to ask you for any kind of a course ID. And you want to, even if you have used My Math Lab before, or Mylab and Mastering before, you don't want to go through their website. You want to go through our link right here, okay? Because when you click on this link, it'll take you directly to our class that I have set up for you guys, okay? So let's see. Anyway, there's the link. This is the video, and it shows you how to create it. Like I said, it looks like both of you all in Remind. And then what I have here are our course notes, okay? So when you're going to get course notes, if you click on these 3 dots right here, yes, if you click on those 3 dots, you're going to see download original file. You always want to go with download original file. If you click on the A, or if you click on download alternative formats, it usually comes out real skewed, and not everything comes out. And I don't even know why that option is there, but you always want to go with original file, okay? Let's see. So those notes correspond, guys, directly to the videos that I have created for you all. So these are my own videos. I sat down and I made every one of these videos, and it's the same material as if we had not been in a pandemic and we were in a regular classroom. This is what I would do on a daily basis. I would say, hey, look, we're going to go through these 2 or 3 sections today, and we would cover some material. And so the playlist takes you to, and I'll share that with you right now. So let me see. Let me stop sharing this screen, and let me share another one with you guys. Here we go. Okay, and so here, I think you guys can see. Oops, let me see. Yes, you all can see this now. So I have all the videos set up for you guys. Okay, so 0.1, 0.2. This is everything for the entire semester. Okay. So anyway, I have all the videos set up for you guys, and I walk you through the process. And those notes that I said where you can download the original file, those are the notes that I have here, okay? So I try to walk you through everything as if I'm there with you, and I try to talk you through the process as if I'm there with you, because I think, it's difficult to kind of navigate some of this on your own, okay? So that was my intention. Let me stop sharing this screen, and let me come back to our content screen where we were. And let's see. All right, so we're back here. And let's see. So like for this week, guys, we would be covering 0.1 all the way through 0.5. 1.1 and 1.2 and 1.3, and all of these assignments are due by 11:59 on Tuesday the 6th, okay? And then there's also a quiz in there that's also due by the April the 6th. And you might say, oh, hey, you know what, today's the March 22nd, man, I got a ton of time. You do and you don't. You do have a lot of time, but everything in week 2 is also going to be due on April the 6th, right? So you don't want to wait till like April 5th and say, let me try to crank all this stuff out, because you really got 2 weeks of stuff to do, okay? For the quiz, and again, everything is going to be in that Mylab and Mastering. For the quiz, you can basically take it twice, okay? You don't have to take it twice, but you have 2 shots at it. So you take the quiz, and once you're done with the quiz, if you're happy with your grade, and it tells you your grade right away when you're done. If you're happy with the grade, you don't need to mess with it a second time. If you're not so happy with the grade, you can always go back and review a little bit, and then take it a second time, and hopefully you do better. People do ask me, though, what happens if I do worse the second time? We always keep the better of the 2 grades. Okay, the better of the 2 grades are always the ones that we use in computing your average. So you don't have to worry about that. Okay. Let's see. So guys, remember, if you have any questions, this is my STC email address. You can message me here. I created a Google phone number, so it rings on my cell phone, but you can call me at this number here. The only thing I think it asks you to do is it asks you to, like, say your name, right? So when I answer it, it'll say call from, and then I'll hear your voice saying Serena or Video or whoever's here, okay? And then, guys, you can always message me on Remind or on Pronto, and those messages, you usually get a quicker response. Like if you called me, you know, say you're an early bird and you're like, oh, I'm up at 6 a.m., let me call Mr. Rodriguez. I probably won't hear the phone because I'll probably still need meetings, but if you send me a message on Remind, when I wake up, I'll see the message and I'll reply to you right away. The other thing I wanted to mention, guys, on Remind or on Pronto, you can message me 24/7. I may not answer you at that moment, but you can message me, and don't worry about, oh, I don't want to message him right now because his phone's going to ding and it's going to wake him up. I actually have the Remind and the Pronto app on my iPad, and I keep my iPad out of my bedroom. So you can message me at 3 in the morning, and when I wake up and I see your message, I'll reply to you right away, okay? So don't worry about message me and being nervous about, are you going to wake me up or are you going to bother me? You're never going to bother me, okay? So message me anytime you guys want. Let's see. And then here I just have our office hours, guys. So again, just to give you a heads up, I have office hours specifically for our class on Mondays from 5 to 6, on Tuesdays from 9:30 to 10:30. So that doesn't mean that those are the only times that you can call me. That just means that if you call me or you message me during those times, I'm going to either answer the phone or I'm going to respond to you like immediately. You can message me any other time, but during these times specifically, I will get back to you right away. I also have general office hours for all my classes on Monday and Thursday from 7 to 7:30 p.m. and on Tuesday and Wednesday from 11:30 to noon, okay? So same thing happens. You message me or call me any of those times, I'm going to answer the phone, I'm going to message you right back, okay? Again, you can message me anytime you want. You can call me anytime you want. I may not answer right away if it's not during these times, but I will definitely get back to you, okay? So that's the week 1 material, right? And then if you click on week 2, it's the same kind of thing, right? This is what we're going to be doing this week. So we're going to be doing, you know, up to 2.2. Guys, the one thing I did want to mention again is that everything is due on April the 6th, okay? So basically the assignments for weeks 1 and weeks 2 are all due by April 6th. So we have a lot of time to get them done. Just don't wait till the last minute. I specifically kind of grouped them this way, like this is for week 1 and this is for week 2. And if you can knock those out in those time frames, you're probably going to be ahead of the game. And you can, like, I'm just going to make this up. If by Wednesday you finished everything for week 1, and you want to get a head start on week 2, you're more than welcome to do that. Everything is available. All the assignments are there. The videos are there on YouTube, right? My notes are right here. You can do that, and then if you're ahead, that's a much better position to be in than on April the 5th, kind of like for the first time sitting down at the computer and saying, all right, let me see if I can knock out 2 weeks worth of material in 2 days. It's going to be really tough to do that, all right? So that's why I sort of set things up the way I did. So I'm going to stop talking for a little bit because I feel like I've been talking a whole lot already. And I want to ask you guys who are here, let me stop doing this piece here. And because it looks like we got about 4 folks here, 5 including me. Do you all have any questions that you want to ask me about anything at all? Like, did I make sense in what I shared with you guys right now and how it's set up? I just want to make sure that we're okay and that you guys understand.
Yeah, everything was explained really well.
Okay, good, good, good. Any questions about anything?
So I apologize. I came in a little late. I did email you. I'm still at work, but I did email you about a book.
Okay, so let me. Did you?
I might have missed it when you spoke about it. I apologize.
Okay, yeah, okay, that's all right. That's okay. Good question. So, guys, a couple people did ask me about the textbook. So you don't actually have to buy a textbook at all. Because so, Brenda, I'm glad you asked me this question. You don't have to buy a textbook, guys, because I provide you with all the course notes and I provide you with all the videos. The only thing that you're required to buy is that Mylab software. So let me just show you that one more time so that you can see where it is. So when you're looking on our, here we go. When you're looking on our main page here, there's this right here. I don't know if I click it, what it does, but let me see what it does for me. Okay, I'll walk you through the process here. So, because it is showing me like from your perspective. So let me stop showing this part here and let me show the next piece. There we go. And okay, so you're going to click on this part here, and you're basically just going to agree to everything. And it's like, here we go. We're going to go, I accept. And okay, awesome. So if you've never used Mylab before, you're going to click right here where it says create an account. Okay, so you'll click on that. And then in the week 1 folder, so I'm going to stop sharing this piece right here. And I'm going to share that other folder that I had with you guys. So let me make sure. Okay, we're back here. So right here in the week 1 folder, I have a link on how to create your Mylab and Mastering account. So when you click on this piece right here, this will take you to YouTube. And let me share that with you guys real quick so y'all can see that. And let's see. Okay, and so if I do this, there we go. Okay, so if I do this here, and all I'm doing, guys, in this piece here is like I filled in my name and I put my username. Usually you can let your username be your email address. I couldn't do it because I've been here for a long time and I've been doing this every single semester, so I just have to like change my username each time. And you know, I make my own password and I got to re-enter it and all that kind of good stuff, and agree to the terms. And again, you can see the video is only about 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, but I kind of walk you through that process. And again, the one thing I really want to reiterate, y'all, let me stop sharing this piece here and share one more tab with you guys one more time. Oops, let me see. Let's see, where are we? Okay, we're back here to our main page. Is that even if you have used my Mylab before, you still want to enter through this link here. So you have used Mylab before. Don't go like to Google and type in Mylab and Mastering. Click on it through here because this will take you directly to our specific course. Okay, and then when you do that, all your assignments will be in there already. Okay. So, so let me stop sharing this. So, does that answer your question about the textbook and everything?
One question. It does ask you like if you wanted like a couple of there's 2 different options on there.
Yes. Okay. So, guys, there are 2 different options. If you look, and let me see if I can pull it up real quick. So give me one quick second. Okay. So I'm going to share one more screen with. I'm going to share the screen with you one more time. because I want y'all to see something here. Okay, so I'm gonna just hit play real quick. So I'm going to pause it real quick, guys. If you look, you do have the two links, right? You do have the one that's $115, and you have the one that's $80. If you look, I know it's kind of hard to see. It's right down here. It says get temporary access without payment for 14 days. It's down here at the bottom. You can click on that one initially, and that'll let you get started at least for the first 2 weeks. These two options are entirely up to you. So what's the difference between the two? If you feel like you're a very motivated person and you know you're going to stay on track and you're going to get through this class in these 8 weeks, then all you really need to do is go for the 18-week option. If you're somebody who says, you know what, I failed math before and I don't know if I'm going to pass it this time, then your better option might be going for the 24 months one. All that does is that in the event that you have to repeat the class, I hope nobody does, but in the event that you have to repeat the class, if you do, and you need to take the course again, instead of having to buy Mylab all over again, you would already have your Mylab account set up, and whoever your instructor is, the next time you take the course, you don't have to go through paying for that software. And the only reason that I mention this is that this was obviously pre-pandemic. So I think this was like fall of 19. I had 2 guys in my Math 100 course. They didn't make it. And they came back and they took it with me in the spring of 2020. And they had to rebuy the software because they went with the $80 option, the $79.99. And since they didn't pass that fall and they had to pay for it again, then they had to pay another $80. So 80 and 80, that's 160. It would have been cheaper getting the 115 one, right? So it's really up to you. But I would, if you can, I would click on the get temporary access. So okay, so it's going to give me some time, right? And I'm just going to kind of forward. And then I would click right here, guys, where it says, oops, sorry. Pause it real quick. And I would click right here where it says go to my courses, right? Now, again, I want you to notice something here. This says Spring 2021 MATL 0042. This is just for a different class. This was just like a sample, okay? So you don't want to use this course ID or anything like that. But that's basically how you would set everything up. So excellent questions. I'm glad you guys are asking me. Are there any other questions? I want to make sure that we're all good here on what it is we're supposed to be doing. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. My time is dedicated for you all, okay? So don't feel like you can't ask anything, guys. I may not know the answer, but I will definitely try to get it for you if I don't know. Are we good? Yes, ma'am.
No, we're good. I only have a question for later for all the homework.
Okay, you can ask. You can. Okay. Oh, for about a homework. Okay, so I'll tell you what. So what I want to do, I want to share a screen with you guys. I want to do at least one section. And again, the section I'm going to cover tonight, guys, is the first section that's in our YouTube playlist. And I'm going to do the same thing that I did in those videos. The idea is, let me do a little bit now, and then, you know, you guys can kind of keep working on whenever you have time. And then next Monday, I'll do the same sort of thing with you all. And so every Monday, and if you're available and you can log in, I highly recommend that you do. If you're busy and you're at work or whatever and you can't do it, that's okay. I'm recording this session and I'm going to send out this link to everybody this afternoon. But the one thing I will say is if you're available, log in, because I think it's really helpful. Like I said, I've been doing that with one of my other classes, and those people who are attending have really started improving a whole lot. Excuse me, they've been really. Yes, ma'am.
How often are we going to be meeting next week?
So just once a week. So because this is an online class, there's no scheduled meetings or anything like that, right? It's an online course is basically designed to where when you have time, you're going to do a little bit of work, right? And you're going to go through the notes that I provided for you guys, and you're going to watch the YouTube videos and all that kind of good stuff. So remember, this is a mini semester, so it does go rather quickly. The idea is just, make sure that you carve out time in your schedule to do some of these things, okay?
Oh,
And then
don't get
whenever
me
you
wrong. I'm thrilled about it. I'm thrilled. You know that stereotype of women in math? Yeah, that goes with me. I'm not blessed with
so
math.
really, the idea here is just make sure you carve out time in your schedule to watch the videos and then do your assignments. And then at any point in time, if you guys have a question, I highly recommend that you take either your phone or whatever and take a picture of the problem and send it to me either on Pronto or Remind. And one of the things that I do, guys, is I'll make a video of that problem and I send it out to the entire class. And I say, hey, good afternoon, everybody. I hope you all are doing well. One of our classmates asked me a question. Here's a video of the problem. And I send it to everybody, and I send you the link on YouTube, and you can watch me, and I walk you through the process and everything. And I've been doing that for all my classes, and it's been coming in pretty helpful. And this way, so say somebody had a question, and either you already figured it out or you haven't gotten to that part yet. You might say, hey, look, you know what? Somebody asked a question out of 1.2, and I'm not there yet. Let me go ahead and watch this video. And the video is probably going to be pretty short, a minute or two, so that when I get to that section, I remember, the sir did this problem or whatever already, right? So that's kind of the idea. So what I'm going to do now, guys, is I'm going to do one section with you all. And let me share my screen one more time. Okay, so this right here, what I'm sharing with you guys, these are the notes from chapter 0 and chapter 1. And it's all one big file. Again, you don't have to print anything out. I think as long as you have them available, it's good. And so what I want to do here is I want to kind of walk you all through some of this material here, and we'll do the first section this afternoon, and then I'll let you guys kind of do the rest of it on your own, and we'll do a little bit more next week as well. So guys, the other thing I want to mention as I'm going through this here, if I say something that doesn't make any sense, let me know right away so that I can, and you don't worry about interrupting me. I want you to interrupt me, okay? So if I do something that doesn't make any sense, can you tell me, sir, can you go over that part again? I didn't understand this. And I'll be more than happy to do that, okay? So let's take a look here. It says 0.1 is simplifying fractions. So the whole numbers start with the number 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And remember what the little dots mean. The little dots mean we keep going on and on and on and on, right? And then it says fractions are a set of numbers that are used to describe parts of whole quantities. And the objects shown in the figure, there are 4 equal parts. 3 of the 4 parts are shaded, are represented by the fraction 3/4. And the fraction 3/4, 3 is what we call the numerator, and 4 is what we call the denominator, right? So the numerator is the number that's on top, and the denominator is the number that's on the bottom. Okay. And then we have something called the natural numbers, or the counting numbers. So the only difference between the whole numbers and the natural numbers, or the counting numbers, instead of us starting at 0, we start at 1. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and so on and so on and so forth. So here it says, when 2 or more numbers are multiplied, each number that is multiplied is called a factor. For example, when we write 3 times 7 times 5, each of the numbers 3 and 7 and 5 are factors. Okay? And then we have something that we call prime numbers. Okay, so prime numbers are numbers that are bigger than 1, and the only factors are 1 in themselves. So like 5 5 is a prime number because the only numbers that multiply to 5 are 5 and 1. But 6 is not a prime number because besides 6 and 1, the other numbers that multiply to 6 are numbers like 3 and 2. Okay? And then, so what we have here is the first 15 prime numbers. So the first 15 prime numbers are 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, 23, 29, 31, 37, 41, 43, 47. These numbers here, the only numbers that multiply them are 1 in themselves. Meaning I can't break down, like say I couldn't break down 17 besides using 1 and 17, right? There's no other breakdown for the number 17 or any of these other numbers here, okay? All right. So the next piece that I have here is asking me to simplify each fraction. So there's a way that I can simplify my fraction, and I'm going to show you right now. Give me one quick second. Let me see if I can find it. Excuse me. There we go. Okay, so what did we do this? Let me see if I can rotate this. There we go. Okay. Okay, so let me see. Let me come back to where we were, which was here. Okay, so guys, the easiest way to do this piece here is by looking at, like say here I have 14 and 21. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back to my multiplication table that I just pulled up right now. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at my chart here, and I'm going to ask myself, do I see a 14 and a 21 either in the same column going up and down or in the same row going left and right? And yes, I do. Here's my 14 and here's my 21, right? So that means that I know I can divide them both by 7. So 7 goes into 14 twice, and 7 goes into 21 3 times. So when I divide both of these by 7, we end up with 2/3. So to me, my multiplication table is going to be like my best friend in doing these problems, right? So if I look at, say, the next one here, 15 and 35, right? And I might come back to my table, and I might say, oops. There we go. 15 and 35. So 15 and 35, I can divide them both by 5. So 5 goes into 15 3 times, and 5 goes into 35 7. So this is going to be 3 over 7. And then 20 over 70, I'm going to do the same thing, right? I'm going to say, look, I can divide them both by 10. So this is going to be 2, and that's going to be 7. So when I'm trying to simplify fractions, if I don't know the answer off the top of my head, I'm going to use my table. If I know the answer off the top of my head, if I know, well, hey, I can divide them both by 5 or I can divide them both by 10, then I'll go ahead and do that. But in the event that you get stuck, your table will always help you figure out that process, okay? So let me go ahead and do the same type of setup here. So simplify each fraction, okay? So 7 and 21, I can divide them both by 7. So I'm going to divide them both by 7. So 7 goes into 7 once, And 7 goes into 21 3 times, so my answer is 1/3. Let's see, I can divide both of these here by 5. So 5 goes into 15 3 times. 5 goes into 105 21 times. Now, I might be tempted to stop there, but I know I can actually keep working. I can divide these again by 3. So 3 goes into 3 once, and 3 goes into 21 7 times. Okay. And so the next piece here says simplify each fraction. So 35 divided by 7, I can divide them both by 7. So 7 goes into 35 5 times, and 7 goes into 7 once. And guys, if we end up with something like this, if we end up with something like this, like 5/1, we're just going to write it as 5, right? Because it's a nice whole number. We can do the same thing here. We'll divide them both by 10. So 10 goes into 70 7 times, 10 goes into 10 once. And so my answer here is just 7. So far, are we doing okay? Anyone got any questions? We did.
No, that's good.
Okay, thank you. So, guys, the next thing I have here is how do we change an improper fraction to a mixed number? Okay, so in case we're not aware, what is an improper fraction? An improper fraction is where the number on the top, which is the numerator, is going to be bigger than the number on the bottom. Okay, so the way we do this is we're going to divide things out. So we're going to divide things out like we were back in elementary school, like this. So we might say, well, 4 goes into 7 1 time. Remember, we multiply. 4 times 1 is 4. And then we subtract, and my remainder is 3. And so the way we write this now is that this 1 here, that's going to be my whole number part. Okay. My remainder is going to be the number that goes on the top, and the number we were dividing by stays on the bottom. Okay. So we have 1 3/4. And we'll do the same thing for this one here. So I'm going to 3 into 15. Well, 3 goes into 15 nice and neat 5 times with no remainder. So my answer here is just 5. Okay. So let's see. Now we're going to go backwards. We're going to change a mixed number to an improper fraction. So if we're going to go backwards, what we're going to do is we're going to multiply. We're going to take the bottom number times the whole number part, and then we're going to add this number on the top. So 7 times 3 is 21. 21 plus 1 more is 22. Because we're changing it to an improper fraction, since 7 was on the bottom here, 7 is going to stay on the bottom right there. Okay. I'll do the same thing here. So we're going to multiply 5 times 5, and then we're going to add this number on top. So 5 times 5 is 25, plus 4 more is 29. And since there was a 5 on the bottom here, there's going to be a 5 on the bottom right there. Okay. And that's how we go back to an improper fraction. All right. So the next piece I have here says, let's find the missing numerator. Okay, so let's take a look here. We have 3 over 5 and then equals something over 25. So 3 over 5 equals something over 25. So the idea here, y'all, is what I'm trying to do is I'm going to do a little stare and compare. I'm going to look at this number right here, 5, and I'm going to look at 25. And I'm going to ask myself, what did I have to multiply 5 by to get 25? Oh, well, I had to multiply it by 5. And the idea is if I do it to the bottom, I'm going to do the same thing to the top. So 5 times 3 is going to give me 15. Okay, and there's my missing numerator. And you may ask yourself, like, oh, should I reduce this? Like, no, really, what we're doing here is instead of like reducing the fractions, this is what we call building them up, okay? So we're building them up. So we could reduce it, but we're not going to reduce it. We're making, instead of making them smaller, we're making the numbers bigger. Okay, so I'll do the same thing for the next one. We have 4 over 7 is equal to something over 14. And so I'm going to say, well, what did I have to multiply 7 by to get 14? Well, we had to multiply it by 2. So I'm going to multiply this one by 2 as well. That's going to give me an 8. And here's my answer, 8 over 14. And then we'll do the same thing for the last one. We have 2 over 9 is equal to something over 36. And so if I say, what did I have to multiply 9 by to get 36? And guys, just to give you a heads up, if you're curious, if you're like, you know what, I don't know what I need to multiply 9 by to get 36, you can always go to your chart and you can say, look, here's 9. And let me move along my 9, 1, 2, 3, here we go, we had to multiply it by 4. So you can always use that chart. And a lot of times when I'm actually in my face-to-face class, guys, I give everybody a multiplication table and I use it often in class. So I think it's one of the really great tools that we can use in doing this. And now there's no shame in it. And so, you know, sometimes people say, sir, you know, I feel bad because I don't know my multiplication table. Don't worry about it. It doesn't matter if we didn't know it before. The more we use it, the more we're going to remember some of those numbers there, okay? All right. And so we have another one similar to what we just did before. So let's go ahead and do it to it. 3 over 8 equals something over 24. Anybody know what I need to multiply 8 by to get 24? What should we multiply? 3, very good. So we're going to go 3 here and 3 here, and that's going to give us a 9. Okay, and then we'll do the same thing again. We're going to go 5 over 6 is equal to something over 30. So what do we need to multiply 6 by to get 30? Anyone know?
5.
5, right, good. 5, good. So that's going to give me a 25 right there. And then, okay, we got one more, a little more challenging. Let's see. So you can, if you have your calculator, if you got a table, anybody know what we got to multiply 7 by to get 56?
8.
8, very good. Awesome. And there's my 16. Okay. All right. So guys, what I really wanted to do with you all this afternoon was, I'm going to stop sharing this piece real quick. I really wanted to do the first section with you all today, okay? And the idea was, like, you can see how I teach. And if you go back, guys, and if you watch that video that I have on YouTube for 0.1, you're going to see I did exactly the same thing on that video that I did right here, okay? The idea is just to kind of get trying to get the ball rolling a little bit, okay? So before I go on, I want to do one more thing just to make sure that we're okay. So let me do this and do this. Okay, so number 1, sign up for Remind, which I think you guys did. Guys, another thing you can do, and it already comes on Blackboard. It's called Pronto. It's basically the same thing as Remind. I have them both. I mean, I'm using them both right now. Probably in the future, I'll probably just use Pronto. But whatever message I send on Remind, I always send it again through Pronto because sometimes people forget to sign up for Remind. Okay, but so I'm going to be doubling up a little bit right now. But anyway, make sure you have access to that one too. You can even download it on your phone if you want to, or you can just, you know, access it through your computer. Number 3, make sure that you set up that Mylab account. Number 4, watch the videos. And number 5, get a head start on those. Oops, sorry. On those assignments. Sorry, my handwriting is pretty messy. Those are the main things that I really want to kind of emphasize, you know. And so, guys, you know, in a few minutes, I'm going to log off. And the only reason I'm going to log off is I have another class that I'm going to do a session with them in a few minutes. And so, again, you know, just because I'm going to log off doesn't mean that you guys need to. So if you're already like, okay, you know what, I just did one section, let me do another. And you can see how short 0.1 was. 0.1 didn't take us more than 10 or 15 minutes to do. So 0.2, 0.3, those are going to go pretty quick too. You know, if you can knock some of that stuff out and get those assignments done, then you know that you're already ahead of the game. And every Monday night or every Monday afternoon, y'all, I'm gonna send you guys a message on Monday saying, hey, I hope you guys are doing okay. Just a friendly reminder that I'm gonna have a session today at 5 o'clock. I'm gonna record it for anybody who's not able to attend, and I'm gonna send it out to you guys. But the idea is I would much rather you guys be ahead or on track than falling behind, because when you fall behind, it's really, really hard to catch back up, you know. So, do you guys have any questions you want to ask me? How come the sky is blue? How come alligators are angry? Any questions?
I did have one question. So I started on the homework already.
Uh-huh.
And I got stuck on this one question. I have a picture of it if you want me to send on Remind, or if you want me to just read it out loud.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Do you know what problem it was?
I think it was 22.
Okay, so give me one quick second here, and let me come back. And it was number 22. Do you know what section was it? Was it 0.1?
Yeah, it was 0.1. It was the ones about like the parents having a combined income. I don't know why that one confuses me very much.
Okay, yeah. No, we'll take a look at it right now. I'll tell you what we're gonna do. Okay. So guys, I'm gonna share a screen with you guys here. Okay. So when you finally set up your Mylab account, and you click on assignments, this is what your page is going to look like. And then guys, right here, if you notice, by default, it always comes to homework. But if you click on all assignments, here's where you're going to see that quiz, okay? But just to give you a heads up, every time you click on, actually, I'll show you from, let me show you from the student. Here we go. This is what it looks like kind of from your perspective, right? And if you click on assignments, it always by default goes to homework. So you want to either click on all assignments or click on the quizzes and tests to see if you have any quizzes and tests. And you were asking me about, it was number 21, correct?
It was 22.
22, okay, so let's go to 22. Let's see. Okay, so let me share this part with you guys here, and we will work it out together. And here we go. Okay, so this problem here says, last year my parents had a combined income of $40,000. They paid $10,400 in federal income taxes. What simplified fraction shows how much my parents spent on their federal taxes? Okay, so what is it? 40,000 and 10,400. Let me just write down those two numbers. 40,000 and 10,400. Okay, so let me stop sharing this piece here. And what I'm going to do is come back to the little dry erase board. And so we're going to write a fraction. Oops. We're going to write a fraction. Okay, so the amount of money that they made was 40,000. The amount that they paid in taxes was 10,400. And it said, the question I believe said something like, what simplified fraction represents the amount that they paid in taxes? So really what we're doing here is we're going to write this fraction, and all we're going to do now is we're just going to simplify it. So I'm going to simplify it by saying, look, let me at least divide it by 100. When I divide by 100, what I do is I'm really canceling 2 zeros on the top, 2 zeros on the bottom. So that's now going to give me 104 over 400. And then what I might say now is, well, those are still some big numbers. Can I divide them by anything else? Well, you know what we can divide them both by? We can divide them both by 2. And I'm glad you asked me this question. Guys, when I have numbers that are big and if I'm uncertain, how should I approach it? I'm always gonna look for something like, are they even? Meaning, can I divide them by 2? So 104 divided by 2 is 52. Half of 400 is 200. We can divide them by 2 again. So half of 52 should be 26. Half of 200 should be 100. And then we can divide them by 2 again. And that's going to give me 13 over 50. And at that point, that's where we would stop. Say 13 over 50 is going to be my fraction. And I'll show you right now, if I come back to that particular problem, let's see, here we go. And I'm going to type in, so guys, just to give you a heads up, here's my fraction bar. So I click on this button down here and I'll type in 13 on the top and 50 on the bottom. And I'm going to go chickadee check. And there we go. Excellent. Next question. I would have been real embarrassed if it wouldn't have worked, but I'm glad I did. And then I can go to my next problem and kind of do this one here too. Okay. So I'm glad you asked that question. I think it was a very good one. And any other questions about anything, y'all?
No, thank you. I had tried using the like the little help bar it has, and I feel like that was a little bit more confusing than what you just did right now.
Yeah, sometimes the help feature, guys, takes you kind of a long way of getting there. So, like I said, I'm glad that you guys signed in. Guys, know that if you ever have any questions about any homework problem, just take a picture of it, send it to me on Remind or send it to me on Chrono, and I will reply back to you, okay? And I'll send that to the entire class. I really want you guys to do well. I want you to know that I'm on your side. My goal is to help you make it through this class. I want you all to not only pass it, but I want you to be ready for whatever is the next math course you're going to need for your degree, or there's some degrees that don't require a math course, but you got to be what they call TSI complete or college ready. And I want to make sure that you're ready for that test whenever you have to take it. So by all means, you know, if you got questions, let me know. I'm here for you, okay? I want you all to know that you can message me at any time, and I will get back to you ASAP. If it's during my office hours, you'll get a response from me very quickly, okay? So guys, I'm going to go ahead and sign off because I do have another class coming up in a few minutes. I hope everything made sense. I hope you guys have an idea of what it is you need to do. Just, you know, you got questions, let me know, okay? I want you all to feel comfortable asking me for help at any time, okay? That's really my main message here this afternoon.
All right, sir, I do have just one more question. I'm so sorry, real quick.
Okay.
I did notice on the course thing, it said something about having a live session tomorrow from 9:30 to 10:30. Is that still a thing?
So that's just, it's not a live session, it's just office hours. So the live sessions, I'm doing them just once a week during this office hour. But like tomorrow morning, if you did have a question and you message me like, sir, can we log on to Blackboard? Of course we can. You know, give me 2 minutes and we'll log in. I'm not going to have them scheduled. I just have that office hour specifically for you guys.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you.
Good. All right, guys. Well, y'all have a good afternoon. I'm going to stop recording the session, and then I'll send it out a little bit later today.